everyone, it's Annette Green back again. It is week 39 in 2024, and every week I make a craft or craft related video. And even though I posted yesterday that I would not be doing a weekly video because I didn't have any power due to Hurricane Helene, we got our power back last night in the middle of the night. So yay! I am going to make a couple of pages in my planner as I do at the end of every month. See, I've got my planner here. This is the full-size planner from Elizabeth Craft Designs, and I do a page every week. And so this is number 2 because the first one got full, and here we are in July, starting this one. So you can see 27, 28, moving through the Olympics, and a special birthday surprise, and some pups, going to the craft fair, going to see Jamie, our daughter, in Chicago, and then September. These are pages that if you are part of my weekly Memory Keeping with Annette journal, you've seen these because I post every week there. I just don't always make a video. So I have this little spread that I did last week, just kind of undoing that little knot I just created. And this was all about the crafting cruise that I taught on. So I thought I'd give you a look at a few pages before working on the page today. So as you can see here, I have used my brand new beautiful Bounty paper collection and new dies from the Card Maker Special Kit, and then some existing dies of mine like the classic alphabet, and there it is there as well. My postage stamp die. I'll link everything below, of course, but this was a really fun page. And then of course this is Esther's big envelope page die, where I have even more like journaling and photos tucked inside of here. So if you're not part of that Facebook group, Weekly Memory Keeping with Annette, I encourage you to jump in. We're going to continue into 2025 and just keep building onto that group, and everybody's in there sharing their pages and asking questions, and it's very positive and uplifting in that group. So I encourage you to join it, and I'll link that Facebook link below. Right, and this was last week, week 38. We did a little Traveler's Rest cleanup together, my husband and I. And so I've used a lot of fun things from my new paper. Of course, this is from the trash can die from Yosette with Elizabeth Craft Designs. It has a cute little trash can, but it also has all these like crushed up cans and half-eaten apple, a water bottle, so it's kind of cute. And then I worked in some of my dies as well. Okay, so now we're on week 39, which is at the end of September. And I'm going to show you what I've got started here. I like to kind of switch from a regular plain page that has, just paper to it and cardstock, and then I do a pocket page. And what I mean by that is like a photo pocket page that fits into the Elizabeth Craft Designs planner. And so sometimes I use the assortment. This is PP01 Planner Essentials Photo Pocket Pages 1. So you have all this assortment of sizes and configurations that you can slip your photos into. And then there's this one, PP03 Planner Essentials Photo Pocket Pages 2. And that's just a full-size page, which I like to use as well. But I'm going to mix two of the assortment ones here to make sort of a bigger page and have more room for photos. Okay, so you can see I'm kind of ready with a little bit of a plan here. What I'm going to use is the pocket page that has the two big, a little bit bigger than 4x4 squares, and then there's this other one that's like 3x4. And I want to figure out a way to maybe hinge these to make a little folding hinge, let's say. So I think what I want to do is I'm going to take some double-sided tape, because I'm going to do this first so we can kind of camouflage it later. So I think this will work. We'll find out together. Okay, so I'm sticking this on top, and I went way over to the left because we have this perforation here. I don't know if you can see that, but there's this perforation, and I think that's going to be how I'm going to want to fold this. So we're going to have to kind of score that, I think, with the bone folder, or at least burnish it. So it's tough because it's plastic, it's not paper. So I'll get it started down here. Okay, that's good. Then we'll do the bottom half. Same way. Just to kind of get it started. Okay. And so the idea is that it will flap backwards, and then this will open out this way when we flip it over. So let's get this down. Make sure this is burnished really well before you do this, because you are gluing plastic to plastic. Okay, and we'll stick this to this. Okay. And so now we can still get into this pocket with our pretty paper, let's say, and we will not see that overlapping seam. So that worked out well. And then on this side, we'll just have to do something on the top. So we'll get to that in a bit. For now, here's what I had in mind. So I have these two pieces of my beautiful Bounty paper, cut and ready. And these are 4 1/8 by 4 1/8. That's why I say the little pocket is a little bigger than 4. And my idea is, of course, to use my hurricane photos over here and to put thankful and lucky. I have cut out from my classic alphabet here because we were very lucky during the storm. A lot luckier than some. Unfortunately, there's still many people even around here, but of course up in North Carolina as well, Tennessee, they don't have power, they have terrible flooding. We did not have that, fortunately. We have a lot of trees down around here, a lot of power lines. A lot of people still don't have electricity, but we got lucky. So that's how I'm starting off here. So as you can see, I've got those two squares. I have kind of a plan. I have a photo I want to put through here. And then I have this cute little wavy kind of wave border. That's from my borders and trims. So I cut two pieces and I'm going to put that right across there. And the other piece I'm going to use over here because what I have in mind over here is some more of my pretty paper and then some photo frames. Now that frame also does dual duty because once you cut out the outside and the inside with different papers, then you can use it in two different places. So that's exactly what I'm going to do. That's going to go over there. And this comes from Older Die, Planner Essentials 42, Shapes, Frames, and Words. And this is a loaded die. It's got a whole bunch of photo options and frames. There's words in some of these frames. There's a big double banner and some arrows. So that's what I'm going to use. I also use this little pennant here, and I think I'm just going to use the blank one, but we'll see. Okay. And then I have another wavy border I think I want to use over there. And then I've got the same paper and one of these cut aparts from my beautiful Bounty for my journaling. And here's the little pennant banner. So all of the papers coordinate nicely because they come from that paper collection. And then I've got my 39 for week 39 here. It's cut from the same colored cardstock as my waves and my lucky. So I'm thinking that'll go there. And then just for fun, I cut out another little rickrack border. I think I might put it up there just to dress up that little pennant. And then I did cut out one of these little arrows. I think I'm going to use this one from the set I just showed you, and this pops back in here, and I think I'm going to put that over here with and lucky, kind of like that. So there's kind of a plan. This is for the back, so we'll get to that in a minute, but here are my photos ready to go. I have talked about this many times. Here's my printer, Canon Pixma TR8620. I print my photos at home on 8.5 by 11 glossy photo paper. and I just size them in Photoshop Elements before I print them out. Okay, so I have them all kind of sized and ready with my plan. I need to take a moment and cut these out, but what I'm going to do is I'm going to take the die from this frame to cut out some of these photos that I want in here, because I don't want to just pop in a rectangle, because it will, you know, we've got this area right here where we can't really, you know, we're going to waste some space. So you'll see what I mean in a moment. But I need a moment to cut these out, and I will come back. But as you can see from the photos, we did have quite a few trees down, power lines down, roads blocked because of trees. But also part of my story is going to be, you know, the positive side of things. You know, I worked a lot because there was nothing much else to do. You were kind of confined to the house, no power, so I just kidded and kidded and kidded for the Banff retreat. We played some games, Farkle, and we cooked out on the grill when we realized, oh yeah, we can use the propane grill here at the apartment complex. So we cooked a wonderful breakfast, and then we'll get to my coffee there later. Okay, everything's cut out and ready, except I wanted to show you. So here is the die that I want to use to cut out my photos. Now you can use the die that fits inside of there just fine if you wanted to, but you'll see why I want to use this to cut my photo out, because I'm going to trim it down even further once I do cut it out. That'll make sense in just a second. So here's what I mean. Like if I wanted to use this photo right here, yes, it would fit right into the frame perfectly, but I want to see a little bit of that to make it stand out a little bit. So that means I'm going to have to trim in on this photo a little bit all the way around. The trickiest place will be, of course, right in there, but we'll figure that out. So I'm just going to use a mat and a ruler here with a metal edge to it so I can see through and cut off. I'm just going to cut off a little bit less than 1/8 of an inch all the way around. And I'm just using a nice sharp craft knife. We'll do that on all 4 sides. And then we'll have to deal with that part around the circle there. Okay, the only other thing I would like to do is grab my little Katamaru Pro and round those corners, because that's kind of how they are in the frame, and I'm using the smallest rounder there. Okay, so if we took this right now with that background in there and this, we could probably take off a little more. Yep, I'm going to shave off just a little bit more, especially top and bottom, it looks like. So let me take it off the bottom, because there's more of just the ground there we don't care about. That's much better, as you can see, I hope. But we still have this issue here, so I'm going to grab a circle punch. Now, this, if I measured across, is 1/2 of an inch. So I'm going to go find my 5/8 circle punch. If you don't have a 5/8 circle punch and you wanted to do this, you could also go to my circles, banners, and ribbons. And let's see, this way you can actually like lay it on there to see, is it going to work? So there is a circle in there to me that looks like it's going to work pretty well. Yep, so that's what I'm going to do instead. I could get in there with the 5/8 and do this. Maybe I'll do that. I don't know. Either one's going to work, let's say, okay? It's a little hard to get through a photo sometime with a punch, but I know a die can do the trick. And so I missed that little corner. That little spot just didn't go. Let me get that. Okay. You know, that's pretty good. You could fix that up with your scissors if it just, mine is being a little stubborn, doesn't want to cut that one little spot. So maybe I'll try the die on the next one, see how that looks. But that's what I wanted, and that's why I did that. Okay, Okay, I have my second one ready. I need to do the little circle cutout, but you can see that I purposely picked the photo that has a lot of white space on the darker background for contrast, and whereas this one has a little darkness in the photo, so I used a lighter color matte for that background. Just something to keep in mind. Now let's try the circle die this time, and I'm using my Anna Griffin Empress Mini, and the mat is magnetic, so that should hold perfectly right there in place, so we can feed it through. Oh gosh, and I found that to be so much easier. What a perfect cut. So keep your circle dies in mind when you're doing stuff like this. Let's see how this looks. Lovely. That's going to work out great. Now we can start to put this together. I don't know why, I just want to start on this right hand side because it's kind of an easy one to start with. And while I am gluing and such, I will chat with you. I did want to say a very special thank you to so many of you that messaged me, texted me, reached out to me on social media to make sure that I was okay here in South Carolina during the hurricane, which, I thought when I moved away from Florida I was done with all that, but apparently they can follow you. So I do appreciate you all for worrying about me. And we are a-okay, fortunately. Okay, next in will be this little guy that fits in like a puzzle perfectly. And if you've not seen one by now, and you wonder what the heck this little glue gun is here, this is the precision glue press from My Sweet Petunia. Same people that make the Misty stamp platform. I can talk, I promise. Okay, there's that, and then we'll pop this on, which I think I'll use tape runner for this. I like to do that with photos just in case I need to get them back up. I can always use my undo. Once you use liquid glue, that's it forever. Okay, we've got that, and then we just want to add our waves, sort of kind of being cutesy about all the water and the flooding. So if you saw my post, I did talk about, gosh, I have no way of having coffee, poor me, it was all in jest. It was just, I know that people are struggling to just get by right now, to find food and water and all that. So I was just simply making light of my situation, and I hope that it did not offend anybody. Okay, so I put a bunch of glue on the back of there, and I'm just going to put this right across the photo. I used the same glue. I put art glitter glue in my precision glue press. It comes with some Nuvo glue, which is pretty great, but I have tons of art glitter glue in the refill bottles and stuff. So, okay, so there's that one, and so far I think that's all I'll do to that particular photo. Now we have this little panel here that I will journal on, but before I do that, I've got to get a couple of things on here to see how much room I have for journaling. I love these kind of parts because they're great for not only card making in the inside to write your message on your card, but also for any kind of journaling in planners or what have you. Okay, we'll put this on next. And I think I want that kind of up here for my 39, for my week number. Everything is inked around the edges with Vintage Photo. I didn't do it to this little piece, and I do not plan on it. Not necessary. So I'm going to put, maybe I'll get my 39 down first so I can tell where I got room for that. Yeah, so I'm going to get those two things on there, and I'll be right back. Cool. That's done for now. I'll just pop it in there right now to show you. And I appear to have done this upside down. That's okay. Don't do as I do, right? So I may have to seal the bottom of this after I get it all finished. You certainly would not want it on the bottom like that, but it's still workable. And I'll have to get my photos on the backs of these, so they'll have to come back out. But there they are. And then over here, like I said before, I've got my big photo and my thankful and lucky. So I'm going to get that on here. And the photo is going to go down first. And you can see this blank area up here with just trees. The plan, of course, is to have thankful in there. So we can get this way up in here. So I'll get that on next. Got the photo down, got thankful down, and I was just about to start gluing the word lucky, but then I remembered I had these. Have you all seen these? Sticky Specks from Ecstasy Crafts. They are four sheets in a pack, A4 sheets with thousands of sticky specks. So what you do here is you've got this big sheet. Let me get my things out of the way here. I think I'll cut away a little bit. And you know, normally I might have run that word lucky through my die cutting machine with some double-sided adhesive, but I didn't think of it and I just went ahead and cut them out. So this is an alternative. So you peel this back, and on the back of this yellow are all these little tiny sticky dots. So let's use this to kind of get it off my finger. Okay. All right, so let's take a letter, and we're going to start with the Y and work our way over, because that just makes sense. You don't want to run out of room, right? And so I'm just going to press it, push on it, and this is kind of a release sheet, so none of the sticky dots stick to it. And then, oops, okay, this can be a little gummy, a little sticky. There's probably a better way, but I'm going to peel that up. Okay, now it has sticky all over the back. So it's kind of like working with the Xyron sticker maker, but the advantage here is you don't have all those gluey strings to deal with. So let's put our Y right there. Kind of burnish that down, and that rubs away any little extra stickum dots. So I'm going to go through and do that now with all my letters. And I would advise kind of holding this down with this. And then you can use it to press it down. Same way. Really burnish. Okay, so I'll get that done and I'll be back. Alrighty, there we go. Looks good. If you have any residual sticky and you're not using a photo pocket page, you can go in with one of these little dudes and kind of clean up any stray stickiness. But mine's going in a photo pocket page, so I'm not terribly concerned. And I think that that's all I want to do to this one, so we'll pop that in there for now. Okay, looking good. And then we've got this one here, so we'll go through that same process again with the photo layering. I believe I'll put this off to the left. I don't want it just floating in the middle. I feel like maybe I can do a little something over here, or perhaps over here. Maybe that's a plan. I'll put this over here, and then maybe we'll do something there. We'll see. Okay, that looks good. I think that's cute. I have decided to stamp some leaves just because of all the tree action going here. So I grabbed a scrap piece of paper. I've got my leaf stamp from an older set, one of my first sets, the Bloom stamp set with Elizabeth Craft Designs, of course. All right, and before I committed, I tested out some different colors. I was thinking, oh, maybe I'll make it more subtle, too light, too yellow. I think we'll just go with Rainforest, which is similar to this piney green here. So it's always nice to test on a scrap just to make sure you like it before you commit. So we'll do a couple of these, I think. And we'll do like one coming this way. Didn't get the tip of that there. All right, let me get it. See if I can get it. Gotta get my head in there. Okay, wow. Sometimes I amaze myself. Okay, and then maybe coming from the other way. Why not? Let's get a little better contact this time. Pretty. Okay, I'm happy with that. Okay, so let's just take a look, pop it back in there. Very nice little spread. This will fold back, this will come this way, and now we have this to work on, and I already have this piece of paper planned to go here, and because of that seam I'm going to put this right on top of the page protector. And I believe this photo will probably go up in here, so we'll do the same. We'll kind of add something here. This is for a little more journaling, and then I've got 2 more photos, and I may or may not include my little coffee photo here. We'll see. We'll see. Okay, so I think I'm going to put these on here. Just, you know, these will go in the page protector on this side. But I think I'll just put like a dark matte behind each one of those to stand out just a little bit better from that orangey tan background. I think that will help a lot. And then this one I'll have to come up with something down here, and then this one we're going to do some stamping of journaling lines here, and we'll see where we are as far as room for this guy. And normally I wouldn't do this when I'm matting a photo, use up my really pretty pattern paper, but this is the back of this one. This shade of kind of greenish, piney kind of green is just perfect. So I'm going to use these scraps that I have for that. Okay, I went ahead and journaled on this side so I could finish up on the other side. And that's just talking about the hurricane coming. And then on this side, I cut out the letters for Farkle, which was the name of the game that we played lots and lots of while we were in the dark with a little flashlight. But to spell out any small word, this is a great set to have. This is 2056 tab 5 with photo slider. I've used this a lot in different pages in different ways. It's a big page die with a side tab. Got this fun film strip and slider mechanism right here. But it also has all these words and letters so that you can pretty much spell out whatever you want. So that's what I've done here. Just put it on there on a little tilt to make it kind of playful. And now we can pop this back in. I've got my top photo in there. And this is in here pretty snugly. I don't think that there's any danger of those sliding out of the bottom. If I really wanted to, I could seal that with some tape. I just don't know if I'm going to like the way that looks. We'll just see how it goes. All right, now I need to work on this side here. And what I have already planned is I mounted this photo so that it can sort of show that background paper a little bit. And then this one, I think I'll trim that as well. So we show a little bit of that tan back there. And this is the one we're going to do a little more journaling on. Okay, and I think I'm going to put keep working. I think that fits over here. And I've decided I'm going to do Farkle again in that lighter color and use that as a drop shadow. Just make that stand out. And that will also make this a little bit tighter in there so we don't have to worry about that falling out. And if you cut this out straight enough, you know, like you have a little element here. You could use this as a stencil or just as a background. It's kind of fun. So I keep that. Okay, so I have my little Farkle with the drop shadow now. That pops a little bit more, makes it stand out, makes this a little thicker and will stay in there better. I've got keep working on this piece here, so that will go there eventually. And then I want to do some journaling on this piece, and I just have to decide, is there a way that looks better? I kind of like this over here just because it's an outer corner, so I think that's the plan. And then I've got a scrap sheet of paper here for my stamping, and I'm going to grab that same stamp set that I had the little leaf on, and that's the Bloom stamp set. I have this stamp with all the journaling lines on it here, and I want to stamp that kind of like here. just so I have a place to write nice and straight. I could pop another one of those cut aparts on there, but I kind of like the background of this and I want to keep it this way. So I just have to grab a block. And I just remembered that I don't have a large block anymore, so I'm going to use my Misty stamping platform. Put a couple of magnets on there. Do like that. Okay, and I don't want those lines just going off the edge over there, so I'm going to grab a post-it note, just a bit of one, and kind of try to line this up so we have just a little bit of a border that isn't going to go off the edge. Now let's see, do I have to go up even higher? Yeah, a little bit more. So I'm just going to hold that one there with the magnet. I think that'll work. We'll find out. Yeah. Okay, so what color do I want to use to stamp my lines? All right, I think I'll go with Portobello, which is VersaFine Clair. I love VersaFine Clair inks. It's sort of a nice medium to light kind of brownish color. I think that'll work nicely. Let's see. Looks good. There's a few spots right there. Could have pressed a little harder, but that looks good. And then when I take away my little mask over here, then you can see it doesn't go off the side. Okay, as I'm getting to the end here, I have my journaling piece, and I just feel like I want to put simple happiness at the top of this, because as I'm journaling, I'm reflecting on how very nice and peaceful and simple, excuse my head, our time was when we didn't have the distraction of phones and TV and all those other things in life that we let sort of get in the way of just a quiet, peaceful time. So, I mean, we had nice conversations while I was working. My husband, who doesn't care for reading, was reading a book. So it was really very nice. So this stamp is from another stamp set of old of mine. It's called Happy. And I've just masked off the word simple from this stamp that says My Simple Life. So I'm going to bring this down here so I can see it. So now we have simple happiness. And I'm happy with that. That looks pretty good. Okay, I've got a bunch of sticky tape on the back of this, and I'm going to pop that right in the middle. I use the double-sided tape because it's super sticky. I don't want that to come up, and I'm going to do the same here. This is how much I put on the back, so quite a lot. Just because it's going on plastic and it's going on the outside, and I know that this sticks really well to those photo pocket pages. So all I have to do is pop this on. In the center. Oh, I never did trim this one. Look at that. Oh well. It is what it is at this point with all that sticky on the back. I'm not going to try to trim it. So that's okay. That happens. All right, let me grab my planner. Let's get this in here. It's very fun. It's my last page of the month. So that folds back. It could fold forward, but I think that looks a little funny. And I have it sort of scored to fold backward. I know you have a little bit of a glare there, so I hope you can see this okay. Turned out pretty nice. And then so we have this when we open it out. And of course we can flip it this way to see our other side. And I'm pretty pleased with how everything turned out. I hope you do. Hope you liked it too. So I thank you for watching. I'm glad I could make another video this week because I was afraid that I might not be able to with no electric, but we're all good. And I thank you for being here and all the good wishes. And I'll see you next week in the next crafty video.